everyone, welcome to Lifestyle My Way. This is Deepthi. Nothing is as precious as a smile on a little child's face, and nothing better to bring that smile than a colorful pack of crayons. Today, we're going to meet a young philanthropist who is a high schooler and is the head of a non-profit organization called Mighty Crayons. They do some wonderful work at Mighty Crayons, and today we're going to talk to her and learn how they chanced upon this idea, how they started this, what is the wonderful work that they do behind Mighty Crayons, and all about how we as an audience can help in contributing in some way to this wonderful cause. Today we're going to meet Diya Garg, who's going to tell us all about Mighty Crayons. So come, let's meet Diya without further ado. Hi Diya, welcome to Lifestyle My Way.
Hi, nice to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Nice to meet
Good.
you too.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm great.
So tell us, Diya, you're a high schooler. You're in 10th grade, right? Tell us about Mighty Crayon.
Yeah, so Mighty Crayon is actually a non-profit organization that tries to bring smiles on faces worldwide through coloring books and crayons. It's actually a really interesting story on how Mighty Crayon started. My brother actually started Mighty Crayon a few years ago for his Eagle project, and once he went to college, it kind of fell through. And I just remember that one day on June 24th when he showed me this picture where he donated to kids in Uganda. So he donated to Ugandan slums. He showed me this picture where all of these kids were holding up their coloring books high in the sky, smiles plastered on their face, and holding up their crayons really happy. And for me, growing up, crayons weren't such a great gift, a rare gift for me. They were just a childhood amusement. But to see these kids really happy just by crayons really made me really happy. From that day on, I really wanted to make a difference in the world and bring these smiles and make this spark in people's life worldwide. So from that day on, I have been using my chore money. So I get about $20 a week, and I've been putting that into Mighty Crayon, especially since many fairs and clubs and many events have closed down, making financial expenses very hard, which one thing that Mighty Crayon has been suffering through. And balancing Mighty Crayon and school has been hard since I am a sophomore in high school, but I just think that Mighty Crayon is really my passion, and I really find a way to really intervene Mighty Crayon plus school into my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. So that's such a wonderful and noble thing that you guys are doing. So what are the things that you do at Mighty Crayon? Tell us about the process. How do you get the crayons, and how do you make sure they're clean and good enough to go to the kids? So tell us about.
Yeah, great question. So especially to COVID, our procedures have been changing. I'm pretty sure COVID's affected everybody daily. So the process to collect these crayons, to send these crayons has been changing. So we usually get these crayons from restaurants. I'm sure you've been to Olive Garden or Red Robin, big chains like this. Restaurants give little kids these crayons, and kids use them for maybe 5 or 6 minutes till the food arrives. Right. And after that, they are thrown away. About 150 million crayons thrown away each year, and the main output is the restaurants. It's a very shocking fact. After I learned that, I was like, restaurants, they're like the big main output of these crayons. So from that day on, I really wanted to find a way to really collect these crayons. So if we weren't in this pandemic, we usually would contact these restaurants, and they would send us our used crayons, and we would sanitize them in a solution called quaternary ammonium. That's a solution that many restaurants use to sanitize their surfaces. But due to COVID, circumstances have changed, and so far we've been collecting crayons at restaurants also, but the main way that we collect crayons is that they send us new boxes of crayons. Many restaurants aren't allowed to send us their used crayons because they're taking many precautions, and we don't want to be a carrier for corona also, because these kids that receive these crayons are very underprivileged. We are delivering to a place in the Philippines, or delivering to Manila, and these kids actually find their lunch and find their dinner, their meals from other people's trash cans. So they're so poor. So we don't want to be a carrier and spread it to these kids because they can't even afford to go to the hospital. So they send us new box of crayons, and then we have a few volunteers. We really couldn't have done this without our volunteers. They have been really amazing, and they pack these crayons. So I'm going to show you an example. So due to COVID, obviously, it's been affecting people every day, and life has been changing, especially for Mighty Crayon. Usually we collect these crayons from restaurants like Red Robin and IHOP. I'm pretty sure you've been to these big chain restaurants. Staff give these kids crayons for and they use them for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, so they're thrown away, and that has a really big waste in the society. About 150 million crayons are thrown away each year, and the main output is the restaurants, which is such an amazing fact. Like, we never thought that restaurants would be such a big output for these crayons. So we contact these restaurants and we sort, sanitize, and pack these crayons, and we give them to kids in these low-income schools. We have amazing board of volunteers, about 15 volunteers that help us pack these crayons. So I'm going to show you an example. So as you can see, volunteers cut out the stencils, and this one says "Stay Creative." So it's really nice when kids open, they can see a handwritten message. And then they go around these 4 crayons, and you can see that the message is around. So when kids open it, they really feel really special, because every kid is special by themselves. And then we have this coloring book. So this is an example of a K-2 coloring book. It's really great because we have math, reading, and writing pages. So as you can see, this is math, and on the top there's like some sentences. So this blank is blank. And then we have different pages for different subjects. So kids can really use these coloring books not as a way to express their emotions, but also a way for them to get more educated, since they're reinforcing the skills that they have been learning in school, which is a great way. Since kids have been using a lot of their time on the computers, especially due to online schools. So I think these coloring books and crayons really take away all their attention that is going into school.
The crayons were reused, the ones that we got at restaurants. I didn't know they were thrown away after that one use. So this is such a genius idea, actually, because then somebody is really benefiting from what you guys are doing, which is amazing. As an audience, if we want to contribute in some way, what are the different ways we can contribute? One is we could volunteer, right? But now due to COVID, I think things may be a little bit different, but let's hope things get back to normal soon. But tell us, Diya, how can we contribute?
Yeah, so with COVID, everything has brought changes. There's many ways you can really contribute. One way that you can contribute is to be a volunteer. Obviously, scaling has been very difficult for Mighty Crayon, especially during this pandemic. So we do need a lot of helping hands. So we do encourage every one of you to really help and be a part of Mighty Crayon, really sustain our mission. So you can either help volunteer. You can help volunteer by either packing these crayons like I showed you before earlier, where you can pack these crayons and cut out these stencils. Another way that you can also volunteer for Mighty Crayon is also through donating. Donation has been a really big challenge for Mighty Crayon, especially since raising money has been very difficult, since many events like Salmon Days and many events and clubs have been closing down, which makes publicity and awareing people about Mighty Crayon's mission very difficult. Therefore, you can donate on our Facebook page, and we will link it below on the page. Or another way that you can also donate is through PayPal. So if you go to paypal.me/mightycrayon, which will be on the page on the screen like you see right now, that's a third way that you can donate. So these are many ways where you can kind of be a part of Mighty Crayon, because Mighty Crayon isn't just about me or about the kids. It's about everybody. It's a whole community. It's about the volunteers. It's about the kids that we're donating to. It's about these restaurants that are really supporting us. It's about everybody. We're very inclusive, and we really want people to really bring smiles. Not only these kids, even the volunteers, because I've even heard from my volunteers that writing these messages has really brought a smile to their face. And I really live by this message, and it's be happy and be the reason for happiness in others' lives. So with the Mighty Crayon, you need to be happy, but also make other people happy, because the only way you can make other people happy is if you're happy.
True, which is absolutely true. Well said, Diya. So tell us, what are the places that you've sent these crayons to and that have made a difference?
Yeah. So we just actually started Mighty Crayon. We just launched it again back in the end of June, and we donated to 6 low-income schools here in Washington. So those schools are called Title I schools, which means that these schools, they have kids with about 60 or more % of these kids can't afford lunch, so they get free or reduced lunch. These kids don't have much money. Like I
Yeah.
can go to the pantry so easily, but these kids, I can't. They don't have that opportunity. Second, we have donated to Alabama, so we donate to Fairfield, Alabama, an organization called Better Basics, and they focus on childhood literacy. So we have donated to them. We donate these coloring books and crayons, about 220 packs.
Wow.
Third, this is actually one of our biggest deliveries that we're donating. This Sunday, actually, we are shipping out the delivery. We're donating to the Philippines. So these are the kids that I previously talked about that have to look through the other people's garbages for food. These kids are very poor, and I think that these coloring books and crayons can really benefit them and really encourage them to go to school, because it'll motivate them that school isn't just about studying, it's also about having fun, it's also about experiences. So we are donating to the Philippines. That's about 1,000 crayons and coloring books, so that's one of our biggest shipments. We have 2 ongoing shipments in India, so one in Maharashtra and one in Pune. Those are the 2 other deliveries that we have been going on, and we also are planning to donate in December to a local orphanage here, because I also want to help people locally, not also worldwide, since I think everybody should really be helped.
That's really commendable what you guys are doing, Diya. So thank you so much for talking to me, and this is really inspiring. This interview has been such a pleasure for me to do with you, and I really hope you guys take this forward and grow in a big way and help many more children. And I really hope people who are watching this interview will reach out to you and contribute in some way. I sure will. So that brings us to the end of the interview, Diya. Thank you. Thanks for doing this interview with me.
Thank you so much. Just remember, if you want to donate, please donate on our Facebook, PayPal, or you can even email me. These will all be posted on the page that you see right now. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Sure. I'll be linking all the details, along with the video, so people can, find it easily and do the donations. All right. Thank you, Diya. Thanks
Thank you.
for doing this. All the best to you.
Thank you. Thank you.